Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Chunky here, back with another motherfucking video, and we are doing a scary story today. I got Caribbean food today, or Colombian. I think it's Caribbean food. Oh my god! I'm gonna put what the food is here. I'm gonna put the food here, and then I'm gonna put the names of the food while I eat them. So don't worry, I'm gonna put what I'm eating. Let me give you a little close up. I got an arepa right here. I got, it's a combination plate. I'll put the plate that I got here, and it comes with rice and beans, and it comes with steak, and it comes with fried eggs. I also got some plantains with crema, plátano con crema. I already started eating because I was so hungry, but I got one of these things. I think it's called I don't know what it's called, but it was like a little round piece of bread, and I was already eating it. And then I got one of these, and it comes with like a little green salsa. Okay, you guys, happy Halloween. Get something to eat. We're gonna be saying a story that was sent to me, and empanada. I think it's called an empanada, and it has filling in it, and you dip it in the sauce. The sauce is so good. Okay, guys, so this story comes from never had this kind of food, so far so good. Okay, the story was pretty long, so I had to send it from my phone to my daughter's phone because I film with my phone. So hopefully I could read it. This one says, "Hello, Chunky. I've already read the story, so I kind of memorized like what happened." This one says, "Hello, Chunky. This is my scary story, my experience I had, and if I'm freaked out till this day." It says, "August 2019, we moved into a 2-story apartment. It was our very first apartment. So she moved into this 2-story apartment. If you could see the eggs right now, the eggs are nice and runny. And the rice and beans are mixed together. That's how it came. And then I'm gonna like kind of mix the eggs with it. Let me try the meat because I've been staring at the meat. So the meat is nice and tender. So just imagine, this is her very first apartment. 2-story apartment. Almost like, I would probably call it somewhat with like what I have. It's a townhouse. It's called a townhouse. So this happened August 2019. She has a family. I think she said she had a family of 4 or 5. She said, "It was my first apartment and living on our own with our 4 children. 4 children. 1 boy and 3 girls, ages 14, 13, and 11. I think it says that. Yeah. Wow, 1 boy and 3 girls. 14, 13, 11, and 18 months. So she has an 18-month-old, and she has 3 older kids. She begins to say that, they're excited, imagine, you have 4 kids. I think she said she was living with her mom previously. And, when you have that big of a family, you can't wait to get out. You can't wait to be on your own, and you can't wait to have your own, it's a lot. And I mean, being for 2019, since 2019, the world has been crazy. So I could imagine how happy she was. She said her and her husband were very happy. Her and her kids were very happy to get this place. And she said that when she found it, it was at a great price, and she met the owner, and the owner was very nice. He met them there, and they said they were like doing some little last minute before they moved into the apartment. They were doing a little bit last minute check-ins, you know, walking around the apartment with the owner, making sure everything's okay. You know, the owner's telling them, does everything look okay? They're having, you know, they're marking their checklist, you know, looking around. So she begins to ask the owner questions about, the place and stuff like that. And the owner was kind of saying, you know, there's a lot of empty apartments and a lot of vandalized apartments because the previous owner didn't really take care of them, and the previous owner just sold it to that person. So that was like a new owner there to those apartments. So she said that he was a new owner, and certain apartments he picked and chose, I guess, to fix and like remodel so that he could get those rented out, and then he could start facing the other apartments. So he was saying that a lot of the apartments were vandalized, and some of the apartments had like devil worshiping stuff in there, and like devil worshiping graffiti in the apartments. This is called an arepa. It tastes like a pupusa to me. But it's a little fluffier and a little thicker than a pupusa. I'm gonna try it in the sauce. I don't know. I feel like it needs, just because I'm Mexican, you know, I need some spicy shit up in there. Well, that is me because I'm Mexican, and Mexicans, you know, we eat spicy with everything. So far, so good though. I don't want to disrespect anybody's culture. I think it's really good. Only thing I would add would be some chile. Some homemade chile. So they begin to, when she heard him saying that they had devil worshiping shit like sprayed around the apartment, you know, all the other apartments were vandalized with like, you know, devil worshiping shit. She got scared and she got worried, and she was like, oh no, like what the fuck? Like she started to think like, I'm gonna have to bless the place, because that's something she don't fuck with. You could tell how she was saying it on here. That's something that she does not fuck with. So she said that she called a priest to come and bless the place. She said she did ask the owner what apartment that was sprayed with the devil worshiping, because she wanted to make sure it wasn't close to her. She wanted to make sure that it wasn't close to her, so I'm drinking Diet Coke as usual. So the owner kind of like changed the subject, and he kind of laughed it off and said, oh, it's not this place, you know, don't worry about it, you know. So she's like, oh no, I'm not fucking with this shit. I'm getting it blessed. They did end up getting the apartment blessed, and they ended up getting like the whole complex blessed, right? So she felt happy. They move in, they're very happy, the kids are happy. Her husband worked a lot, so her husband was at work all the time. She's a stay-at-home mom with all these kids. And she said that she was feeling a little iffy and a little scared, but then she felt a little bit at ease because I think she said one of her cousins or one of her aunts moved in like 5 apartments down, and they were always home, and so was her husband. So they were like, okay, you know, she's like, okay, I feel more at ease. So Thursday comes around. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping. I'm trying to remember. She said that for a while nothing happened. Everything was good. She said nothing really happened. Nothing really went on. But things started on a Thursday. On a Thursday, She said that she was getting the kids ready for bed. You know, she would normally stay downstairs and tell the kids, you know, I do this with my kids too. If I'm downstairs, I tell my kids, go and take a shower and get ready for bed. So she tells her older kids, go get ready for bed. They run upstairs. And they get ready for bed, and she said that they were playing, jumping around, running up and down the stairs. And she goes, okay, get in bed now. So she says she's downstairs and she still hears them playing. And she's like, you guys, get in bed. And she's yelling and she's getting mad. Y'all know. Y'all mamas know. You're yelling at your kids. You're like, get in bed, get in bed. So they finally get in bed. She's like, they're like, we're in bed, Mom, we're in bed. But then she hears them jumping still. And she's like, what the heck? Like, why do I still hear jumping? She's mad. So she goes, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna spank you guys. You guys better get in bed. So she runs upstairs and she is like, what the heck? Like, the kids are sound asleep. The boys are asleep, the girls are asleep, like they're knocked out. But she said that she was like, there's no way, because I just heard them playing. So she was like, okay, you know what? I think they're playing around with me. I think they're playing. I'm just gonna, like, you know, whatever, like, I'm just gonna ignore it. And she tells them, you guys better get to bed. Stop playing with me. So she said that she goes to her room, she puts the baby down, and the baby started crying for his sippy cup. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna get your sippy cup. So she goes, she forgot the sippy cup downstairs. So she goes and gets the sippy cup downstairs, and she decides to make a bottle of milk in the sippy cup for the baby upstairs. And then she says that she's downstairs pouring the milk. She starts hearing the kids playing again, like laughing and playing and jumping. So she's like, oh my God, like, you guys, she's getting frustrated. Like, stop doing that. So she's going upstairs, and she said that she runs upstairs and she tells the kids, like, she opens the door and she's like, they're dead asleep. That they were in the same positions they were asleep that when she had last seen them. I guess, you know, when you're a mother, you pay attention to things like that. You know, when you know your kids are playing around and you see them asleep and you kind of think, like, what the fuck is going on? You kind of look at the position they're laying in and what kind of face they have, and you kind of take a picture of that and you remember that. So she said she remembered how they were asleep, and when she went upstairs, they were exactly like that, so she didn't understand. But she knew that they were, she was like, okay, you know what? It has to, like, it can't be anything else. It has to be the kids fucking with me, because kids fuck with you. That's one thing, as a parent, I can tell you, kids fuck with your motherfucking mind. Okay, my kids all the time, they're scaring me. They're like trying everything to scare me. They like play pranks on me and stuff like that. So I know how bad kids could be. So I totally believe this. So then she says that she tells the girls, she, you know, in the room, she tells the kids, like, you know, I'm gonna tell your dad tomorrow. I'm gonna have a talk with him and tell him how you guys are scaring me. Like, that's not right. Don't do that. Don't do it again. If we do it again, you're gonna be in trouble. So she says that she says she hears a noise. This was another night. Second night. She says she tells the kids to get to bed. And, yeah, I'll get to bed. And then she said she see, like, her daughter by the stairs, like, by the hallway. She said she seen a figure with hair. And she figured it was her daughter. So she yells, like, she tells her daughter, like, get to bed. She's laying in her bed. She has her baby next to her because she's putting him to sleep. And she tells the baby, she yells out, like, what are you doing? Get to bed. And she hears, like, a laughing noise. She tells, she just sees a figure, with hair and just, like, her child. So she's yelling at the figure, like, get to bed. You know what? I'm going to tell your dad. She gets up, she jumps up. When she runs to go check, like, tell the, she's thinking in her head, it's her child. So when she runs to go see, like, tell the child, like, stop messing around, she doesn't see anything. And when she goes to look in the room, she sees her daughter sound asleep. And she's like, oh, heck no. So she starts getting scared. And the next day she tells her husband, babe, like, the kids were doing this and that. But she said that the kids started saying that they didn't do it. And they're not lying. Okay, so that happens. And she was, like, freaked out. She was freaked out. She was scared. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to let it go. And I'm not going to feed into it. So she said the previous week that her man was home. Her husband was home. And they were chilling in the living room. And they were watching a movie. And the baby was playing, when you're sitting with your spouse in the living room, and then you have the, the little Nino playing around while you're watching a movie or a show or whatever. So that's what was going on. So then they see the baby staring off, like, I think she said to the laundry room. And she's like, what the heck? Like, why are you doing that? Like, get over here. She tells the baby to get over here, and then the baby's not paying attention. Like, the baby's not, like, listening to them. And they tell her, what are you staring at? And the baby says, the man. So she said, the man. So the husband jumps up, like, what are you talking about? So he goes over to where she was staring. And he goes, what did she say? And they look around. She said she was staring at the man. And the husband's like, oh man, like, don't start thinking things, like, we just moved here, like, don't feed into it. So she said that it happened a second time with her baby, like, her baby started staring off into the distance, like, looking at things, pointing at things that weren't there. That's when she had enough, and she was like, she called her mom, and she told her mom, like, what was going on. So her mom kind of, like, tried to ease her thoughts and try to tell her, like, maybe it's an imaginary friend, sometimes babies do that. Sometimes kids do that. I know, because me personally, my oldest daughter had a friend. His name was Jake. And she would always play with him. This is personally my oldest daughter. So I know that it could be scary, but, it stopped after a while. And so then after, she called her mom to bless the place. And the mom came and goes, look, it might not be nothing, but I'm going to bless the place. So she staged the house. And she said a prayer, and she gave her daughter some holy oil, some holy water. And she told her, open the doors, let everything air out, and spray holy water every time you clean. I'm eating the plátanos con crema. It's really good. So she decides to, clean the house, spray the holy water, and, do all of that. And she said after that, nothing really happened. Everything seemed calm. Everything calmed down. The baby stopped doing that, and everything seemed calm. So then she said that 2020 rolls around, and everything's been normal. So all the family's in the living room watching a movie, and all of a sudden they hear something in the kitchen, and they hear a glass fly across the room. That's fucking scary. And she said that they got so scared, and she got so scared, and she said, fuck that, I'm out of here. So they left. They booked it out of there. And believe me, that was the smartest thing. Like, that's why this did not turn into a horror movie. And that's why people turn into a horror movie, because they don't leave. This family got the fuck up, and they said, whoa, that's all you gotta say. That shit flew across the room. I'm out of here. No more, no less. They said they called the owner, and they told him, like, we can't stay here. Like, this is what's going on. And the owner told them, I can't break you out of your lease. Your lease is until August or something like that. And they told them, you could keep the deposit. Like, we don't want it. We just want to leave. And I said that the owner was really nice, and the owner let them leave. But she said that she moved back with her mom, and she said she never went back. She said even when they moved out, like the husband and then I think the boys and the husband and the nephew went back to go move them out, that she never went back to that house. But she said luckily, you know, that her aunt was renting a home that she had previously lived in, and she rented it to them. She said it was a little more expensive, but she was happy about it, so they rented it. And she said more things happened at that house when they moved into that house. But she said that's a whole another story that she did. Like, this story was like really long that she sent me. It was like 5 big old things that I read through. But luckily, I pretty much got it right. Girl, if this is your story and you see this, let me know in the comments. Let me know if I did a good job at seeing it, and let me know if I got everything right. I switched a little bit of things up, you know, because I had to put a little chunky up in it. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, and I hope that I didn't scare you too much. I hope it was a little, you know, on the less scary side. My brother just had a scary story happen at his job. He has footage of like things flying at his job. It's not a long story. He doesn't have like much detail to it. All he knows is that it might be a ghost of someone that got shot there, well, in front of the place. But I might do a story on that too. I'm gonna let him know probably tomorrow, so I can have 2 videos up for Halloween. But I love you guys. Stay chunky because chunky is beautiful. Stay scary. I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, and peace out. And by the way, the food was bomb.